Here we will be exploring more on the components part. We'll check how we can make use of the get initial state and some of the events that are associated with components. For instance, change events that we can associate with text boxes and drop downs and form submit events. So these we will be exploring by creating a review form in React.js, and the review form will look something like this. So we'll be entering the name of the reviewer, then the feedback, and we'll be selecting the courses that we have. So let's get started with this. So over here you can see that we have created a review control, and this review control is basically then attached to the div container or rendered in this div container that we have on this form, div container. And this, as you can see, is taking the course list. So course list is an array that we have over here, list of courses that we have, and that is being passed as a property to review control. Now what it's exactly doing is, when we are creating our drop down, these values are getting populated from this array, and in order to populate that, what we have done over here is we have created the options. Now this options is actually getting its value from this option control or component that we are returning. So we are making use of the list property and then iterating over each of the items that list is actually having, and then we are assigning values over here. So currently we just have one element over here, course name, and that is what we are assigning to each of these properties of the option component. So value, and then this is the text that gets displayed inside the drop down. And once that's done, we are simply putting it over here inside the select. So that's how our drop down is getting generated. And as far as input boxes are concerned, they are pretty simple, straightforward. So we are just writing the input type text, and the value we are currently getting it from the state that we have created. I'll be getting to that as well, and some of the events that we have associated with these controls. So this is the basic form that we have. Now the events that we have associated with it: on submit, it's calling a function called submit review; on change, it's calling a function called on change name; and on change of feedback, it's calling a function called on change feedback. Similarly, when we are changing the course, it's calling a function on change course. So you can see that the function name or method name is over here, first letter being small and then the next word's first letter is capital, so that way the event naming comes up. We'll be exploring more on events in coming up sections. So over here we have assigned these events to select, input, and then we have one submit button. So on clicking submit, this form gets submitted. Now the get initial state is just preparing our initial values. So name we are setting to blank, feedback we are setting to blank, course we are setting to blank, and then reviews obviously is a collection which is empty as of now at the start. And these are the functions that we have associated with our controls: input and select. So on changing name, all we are doing is we are assigning whatever value is there in the text box to the name state. Similarly over here, whatever value we are assigning to the feedback text box, we are simply assigning it to the feedback state that we have. And then whatever course we are selecting from the drop down is being assigned to this course. Now once that's done and we click on submit button, the form gets submitted and this method gets called submit review. Now submit review is first of all preventing the form from actually submitting it, and after that we are simply adding this particular feedback to our reviews collection, and this reviews data collection is actually containing name, feedback, and course. So once that's done, we are then refreshing our text boxes, name and feedback, to blank. Now in order to display the reviews that user has given, we have created another component called a review collection, and you can see that it is having a property called reviews, which is getting its value from the state that we have defined over here, reviews. So once the set of reviews is actually assigned to this review property, the review collection gets into action. And here you can see that we are again making use of the map function of reviews collection and then creating a control over here, or a component called review. Now this is having three properties: course, name, and feedback. And we are assigning the course, name, and feedback from the review collection, which we pushed over here when we were submitting. So that's returned and stored in this variable called reviews, and then that collection is then returned and shown in the browser. So here's the review control that we have. Now this reviews is actually containing the name, course, and feedback. So we are just displaying the name, course, and feedback using the props attribute over here. And this way the whole review form is designed. So now if I go back to the browser and try to run this, let's add something, Skill Bakery, and let's write a review, feedback, select a course from here, and then click on submit. You can see that the name, course, and feedback is then displayed at the end. So this way we can make use of events, and we can create reusable components, as you just now saw in this demo. So we have created a review component which we can use wherever we want. For instance, in this review collection we have used this. Similarly, at other places, if it's required, we can make use of it.